It's a strange kind of pain, when nothing is falling apart, but you still can't exhale. On paper, your life is good, maybe even better than it used to be, and yet your body stays tense. Your mind stays on alert, like you're waiting for bad news you can't see yet. If that's you, you're not ungrateful, you're not weak, and you're not alone. Because there's a reason calm can still feel unsafe, and it's probably not what you think. And by the end of this video, you'll know why your soul can't rest and what it means to finally come home. It's hiding in a story Jesus told about the good son. Let me tell you about a guy I'll call Daniel. Daniel did what he was supposed to do. He worked hard. He stayed consistent. He built a stable life. He has a decent home. His career is moving forward. He's not in crisis. His relationships aren't exploding. From the outside, things are calm. But Daniel can't enjoy calm. Sunday afternoon, the house is clean, laundry folded, dishes done. Everything is finally quiet. And still, he doesn't sit down. He checks his work email, just in case. He finds something to organize, something to tighten, something to handle real quick. Because when the house gets quiet, his chest gets loud. And when life is going well, he gets oddly anxious, because deep down he's thinking, don't get too comfortable, something could change, don't mess this up. He would never say it out loud, but peace feels like something he has to manage. Like if he stops trying so hard, something will slip, and it'll be his fault. So even when life is going well, his soul never truly rests. Here's the hard truth. Sometimes the reason you don't feel peace isn't because your life is unstable. It's because your peace is built on a quiet fear. If I'm not careful, I could lose all of this. And that fear creates invisible tension. You can be surrounded by blessings and still live like you're one mistake away from collapse. That's why the happiest looking lives can feel internally exhausted. Because if your peace depends on you holding everything together, you will never feel safe enough to rest. You call it being responsible, but inside it feels like fear. It feels like carrying the emotional weight of being your own protector. And that weight is heavy. Think of your soul like a home with an alarm system. In a healthy home, the alarm is quiet until there's real danger. But when the system becomes oversensitive, it goes off for everything. A door closes, alarm. A normal sound at night, alarm. A small change, alarm. Now imagine living in that house. Even if everything is fine, you're always bracing, always scanning, always tight. That's what it's like when your heart learns survival mode. So when life finally becomes calm, your soul doesn't automatically relax, because peace doesn't feel like relief, it feels like danger. And that leads to one of the most painful experiences. You finally get the life you wanted, but you don't have the soul that can rest inside it.
There's a story Jesus told that many people miss because they assume it's only about the rebellious son. But the real shock is the other brother. You know the story. One son leaves, he wastes everything, he hits rock bottom, he comes home expecting punishment, and the father runs to him. That part is famous. But the older brother? He stayed, he worked, he obeyed, he did the right things. His life looked stable. And when the father throws a celebration, the older brother can't enjoy it. He stands outside, angry, tense, resentful. And then he says something heartbreaking. Look, all these years I've been serving you. I never disobeyed, but you never gave me. Do you hear what he's revealing? He lived in the Father's house, but he didn't live in the Father's love. He wasn't far from the Father. He was far from feeling safe. He was near, but inside he still felt like a servant trying to earn his place. So he couldn't celebrate. He couldn't relax. He couldn't receive joy because his identity was built on performance. And that's why he had no peace, even though he had a good life. This is what religion becomes without relationship. You can obey and still be exhausted. And Jesus is gently exposing something. You can do everything right and still live like you're not safe. You can be faithful and still be internally anxious. Not because God has rejected you, but because somewhere along the way, you started relating to God like an employer instead of a father. And when love feels earned, peace always feels fragile because you never know if you've done enough. Here's what stays. Peace is not the reward of a life going well. Peace is the fruit of a soul that knows it is home. Not home as in a house, home as in belonging. A soul rests when it knows, I am held, I am loved. I don't have to prove my worth today. I don't have to earn God's presence. I don't have to carry tomorrow alone. That's why you can have money and still feel restless, have success and still feel empty, have stability and still feel on edge. Because peace isn't a lifestyle upgrade. Peace is a relationship where your soul stops performing and starts abiding. And notice this, the father goes outside for the older brother too. He doesn't yell, he doesn't shame him, he invites him. Come in. In other words, stop living like you're outside. Stop living like you have to earn your place. Come home. So what do you do with this today without turning it into another religious checklist? Here's a practice for a moment you already have. Tonight, when you're about to reach for your phone, when you're about to fill the silence, when you're about to do one more thing, even though you're tired, pause. Put your hand over your chest and ask one honest question. What am I trying to earn right now? Maybe it's security, control, approval, or the feeling that you're finally okay. Then whisper one sentence prayer, just one. Father, I don't want to live like I'm outside the house. Bring me back inside. Now pick one small act that looks like receiving, not achieving. Just one. Sit on the couch for 2 minutes without fixing anything. Drink a glass of water slowly and let your shoulders drop. That's it. Not because these actions earn peace, but because they train your soul to accept what is already true. You are not a servant trying to survive. You are a child invited to rest. And you may not feel a dramatic shift instantly, but something will happen. Your soul will start to recognize the difference between being busy and being safe. And peace begins where safety returns. If you don't feel peace even when life is going well, it doesn't mean you're ungrateful. It might mean you've been living like the older brother, doing your best, holding it together, staying responsible, but carrying a secret belief that love must be earned. Jesus isn't here to scold you. He's here to invite you. Come in. Come home. Stop bracing. Stop performing. Let your soul rest in the Father's love. And I want to ask you something. Just one word in the comments. What keeps you bracing? In the next video, we'll go deeper into what steals peace when life gets busy and why your soul can feel unsafe even when your schedule looks normal. If this spoke to you, stay close, subscribe, and walk with me. Tonight, don't just try to be calm. Come home.